Hi, it's Angel from Angel Sky TV. Today's your weekly medicine tarot reading for the week of November 19th. So we just came out of a new moon in Scorpio. That was pretty intense for myself. I know I talked to a lot of people that went through hell and back on the weekend. Very intense, as you know, anyone would note from Scorpio. It's a very intense sign. Remember, it's the ruler of the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of death, and it is ruled by Pluto. So, yeah. Anyone that knows a Scorpio knows how intense they can be. It's also the water sign that is classified as ice, which really sums up a Scorpio if you know one. Many of my friends are Scorpios. My daughter's a Scorpio. I deal with a lot of Scorpion energy. It is intense. The new moon was intense. It kicked my ass. I'm still recovering from it. But we are moving into Sagittarius now, so that's a really good thing. The sun is moving into Sagittarius. Sagittarius was actually the later half of the day on the 18th. The moon moved into Sag, so that's pretty awesome. Sag is a lighter energy, so we can all breathe a little bit. The thing that's happened to many of you with the Scorpio new moon is just a lot of things have come up to the surface. This is good. You don't want to keep things inside. As intense as it is, these are good emotions to deal with. Do what you can to manage them, but honestly, surrendering is the really only thing you can do. Sometimes, and in cases like this, if you are Scorpio, you probably didn't notice a whole lot on the weekend. It probably felt pretty good. Obviously not everybody, but generally I find for myself, I'm a Taurus sun. If the moon is in Taurus, it feels awesome. But if it's in the opposite sign, which is in Scorpio, it kicks my ass. Same thing, my moon is in Capricorn. If the moon is in Cancer, wow. That's literally the worst moon for me is Cancer. Which is interesting because Cancer rules the moon. So this week, let's see what's happening this week. See what the guides have in store. If you want to just close your eyes at home, we'll ask the higher beings, the angelic realm, to surround this reading with divine light and love in all directions of time and space, and to give us clear guidance this week, the week of November 19th. All right, see what we have here. All right, so the first card is an interesting card. It's the Justice card. And so for some of you, there are some details you do need to review in the form of contracts, in the form of agreements. It is a card that signifies not giving up. Not so much not giving up, but just trusting that you're going to win in the end. So any of you guys going through legal battles or things like that, if what you put in is integral, so if you know that you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, are in the, you're not in the wrong, you're being judged inaccurately, you're being condemned for no reason, you're going to come out on top. Now, for those of you that are full of shit, that are just trying to scam or trying to get away with, getting your way, but it's not really with integrity that you're trying to do that. It's not looking good for you guys. So make sure that what you're putting in to any kind of an agreement or a contract or an arrangement or a partnership is actually fair, how you would want someone to treat you. Okay, so just review details in terms of all legal contracts and arrangements, partnerships. And if you've left some loose ends with some partnerships, like you haven't really, you have a lot of verbal agreements, for example, but you have not actually put anything in writing. And maybe it's a new partnership, maybe it's an old partnership. Get it in writing is what the guides are saying. Make sure it's in writing so that you can fall back on that if anything in the future gets a little bit wonky. The guides are saying midweek that you do need to look at things from a different perspective. These are for the people watching that are struggling right now, okay? And I know there's a lot of us struggling right now. They want you just to look at things from a different perspective. Try to see the good in the struggle. Try to stop struggling within the struggle. So think about the hangman in the tarot for a moment. If you're familiar with the tarot, the hangman's hanging down from a tree. His feet are tied. He's above a river of, flowing really quickly. The river's flowing really quickly. It's a dangerous river, and he's hanging upside down by his feet. But the look on his face, he's not terrified. He's not, he's not freaking out, which, think about, you're hanging over a river by your ankles. That's terrifying, but he's just calm. He's, sitting there with this stoic look on his face, and that's embracing and surrendering within the struggle. And you're also, that idea of hanging upside down, you're seeing it from a different perspective. So the guides do want you to pause for a minute, look around, embrace what's right in the situation, because we can all look at what's wrong in any situation. It's very easy to do that. That's kind of how we've been socially conditioned, is to just critically analyze everything. Actually, no, that's not totally true. I guess it's more criticize everything. And I'm talking more Western perspective. Western perspectives, there's just the sense of entitlement and, I buy this, so therefore I'm owed. There's this commodity narcissism that exists in our society in the West that the guides are asking you to examine your behaviors in social situations, examine your behaviors, just in everyday situations where you feel like you're struggling, where you feel like you're not able to cope, and see how you can handle that differently, how you can approach it differently, how you can think about it differently. Okay, so just they're inviting you to look at your life in a different way. Stop saying the same old story, as Abraham Hicks, if you've listened to any of their work, they talk about this a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, we can become addicted to just saying the same old crap, and then we wonder why our life is always the same old crap. So trying to look at your life from a different perspective, there's always more than one perspective. And your life might feel like this is how it is. How do you know? This is my life. But actually, we all know those people that come into a situation, the optimist, and that sees it differently. And you're like, oh, I never even would have thought of that, and it's inspiring, right? So be that person. It's easy to be the negative Nancy in the room. I mean, there's a load of those around. Stand out, be unique, be different from what everyone is accepting right now. That's the social culture right now, just to be negative and constantly just ripping people up and not seeing the good in everyone. That's, you see it on social media, you see it now a little bit more in social interactions. It just seems like people are always looking for what's wrong and not appreciative. And I'm not saying this is everyone, obviously, but just pay attention to those types of things. So, end of the week, the guides are asking you to take some immediate action. There is a challenge that's coming your way end of the week, so I want to give you a heads up about that. But they are saying, the card actually reads, a challenge you can successfully manage. So don't worry about it, but I'm giving you a heads up now. And this is probably why, leading up to the end of the week, they're asking you to look at things a little bit differently, from a different perspective, so that you can be more prepared to, think outside the box and take action swiftly to annihilate whatever challenge might come your way closer to the end of the week, so Friday, Saturday. I hope that this helps you this week. Thanks so much for all your messages that I've been getting on Facebook and emails. I really appreciate that, telling me, that these videos are helping you in some way, shape, or form. If you do want to book a reading with me, it's very easy to do that. I leave the phone number, the email down below. I can do Skype readings. I do those often, or email readings even as well. I prefer to do in person just because I like to meet people and talk to them, but over the phone would be my second choice. Emails, you know, it's the same reading. I just prefer to talk because I'm a talker, obviously. So anyways, all the information's down below, and also gift certificates are available at my boutique if you want to like get a reading for a friend or something like that over the holidays. Definitely just let us know. We'll hook you up, and I do email those gift certificates out. So you don't actually even have to be in the area or anything to get those. I email them out, and like I said, I do Skype readings a lot. And the Skype readings are a little bit cheaper than the in-person. Usually the in-person, I do a whole lot of extras. Like I include some stone therapy as well, where you get some free stones for the 1 hour reading. I haven't mailed out stones to people, but I'm not, you know, close to doing that. So I can do the Skype reading and still intuit what stones you might need after the reading and mail them out too. So I'm open to working with you. You have yourself a good day, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye.